Boom! Welcome back to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am your scary movie companion, Christian Ramey. And back again for another week, clapping them cheeks. The best producer in the whole wide world. The After Dark Shark. Okay? Mr. No Heart Mozart. Mr. Glasses on, Clark Kent Ozark Mark. That's your new name, okay? I like the After Dark Shark, okay? That's gonna work the best, okay? The After Dark Shark, Mr. Ozark Mark, the modern day Mozart. I agree with everything I just said.
Hubba Baloo and howdy do. Welcome back to you. This is the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I am the best producer in the whole wide world, if you didn't know from that wonderful introduction by the Mr. Christian Ramey, the horror nerd himself. And this is very exciting if you are a current follower, and this is the most recent episode you are listening to right now if you're following along here. This is September of 2022. That means, what does that mean, Christian Ramey? That means we are one step closer to the spooky time of the year. And the best part about it is, it's coming up. You know what Labor Day really means? Do you know what it really means? It's like the Thanksgiving of Halloween, okay? After Thanksgiving happens, that's apparently the new acceptable time to put up your Christmas decorations, okay? However, when it comes to Labor Day, it is fully acceptable to put your Halloween decorations up right after Labor Day. I believe so. So we're there.
I haven't really taken these down. It's just kind of stayed this way in here.
Yep.
But outside, I agree. Maybe I'll just keep an inflatable Michael Myers outside all year long. That'd be fun. Neighbors might like that.
Yeah, just decorate them for each holiday, Put some, eggs on them for Easter.
Now you're thinking.
Put a diaper on them for New Year. Santa hat on. You get it done. But we are here today to talk about another fantastic movie, Mr. Christian Ramey. What movie is that? Please tell me.
This movie is James Wan and Lee Whannell's Dead Silence. Came out in 2007. Pretty fun movie, not gonna lie. I've always kind of been a fan of this movie. Is it the best horror movie in the world? Well, we'll find out. But I'm not gonna lie. There's sometimes movies that fall in that fun time category. And that's kind of how I find this. It's the ideal length for a horror movie. It's just something... I'm not going to lie, it's a very 2000s movie. Going back and watching it, it just has the grayish, bluish tones. Everything is just I didn't realize how far away I was from my graduation year until I watched this movie. I'm like, oh, shit. It's been some time.
It has been quite a while.
But it still holds up.
I believe it does. Why don't you give us a nice little quick synopsis on it so the people who have not or are familiar with Dead Silence...
I will, but
know what's going on.
Wouldn't it be funny if this movie was about farts that kill? I mean, all right. I mean, I'm just saying they missed out on the opportunity there with Dead Silence, because I think that would have been perfect. Oh, who did it? And everybody just dies.
Well, that's what you should do, man. Is because I was looking to where to watch this movie. It's not on any streaming service for free currently, so I had to watch it bootleg style through the internet. But I did check YouTube because sometimes you might get lucky and find the whole movie on YouTube. And when I searched Dead Silence, it had the picture of the puppet, the cover, and everything. But it was like some low budget movie. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't Dead Silent. Dead Silent? Okay, yeah, but they switched
bullshit. They switched the cover.
That's what they did. So I believe somebody should make that movie, Dead Silence, about farts and put it on there and see what happens.
I mean, it would be really funny.
It would be funny.
Okay.
Because we've all been through the Dead Silence.
Oh, yeah, we've had it.
You know they're bad when you can't stand the smell of your own. That's a Dead Silence right there.
Oh, yeah, sometimes you just wake up and know today is going to be, I'm going to have issues. And folks, the people in this movie had some issues, because here's what's going on. Quick little synopsis. Movie starts off with a man and a wife. Jamie and his wife...
Lisa,
that is correct. shows them, and she looks like what every alternative early 2000s girl wanted to look like. I mean, I thought she was gonna bust out, and I just wanna thank you. Tears gonna come under my eye. Like, I thought that was coming out from this chick. Like, but whatever. I'm not knocking the year it came out. You know, he had longer hair than she did. That's not a problem. It's not a problem. It was just the different time. Okay. Well, he comes home. They have a loving relationship. They love each other. Well, he says, all right, we got some stuff to do. Well, all of a sudden they hear a knock on the door. Then there's a package. It's a big-ass package, not like a little box. You know, I'm talking a package. I mean, I would almost say like a 3-foot box. Pretty big. So they bring it inside, they unwrap it, and it's a ventriloquist dummy. Looks pretty creepy, almost like the typical ventriloquist dummy that you're used to, but he's creepy looking. And immediately, the couple is possessed with like kind of questions here. First off, let's just be frank here, Mark. If in the middle of like a thunderstorm, you heard a knock at the door, and there was a giant 3-foot package at your door, and you brought it in with your wife, and you guys opened up a ventriloquist dummy, I think you guys just look at each other like, so we burn it, right? You know, there's no other, like, we're not keeping this.
No.
Like, we're burning this thing.
Yes.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Like, we're not.
There's some evil that doesn't just show up, okay? You burn it, you kill the evil within it.
Yeah.
You send it back to hell or whatever the hell it came from. You don't No. Like,
yeah, we're not playing these games.
No.
Well, anyways, they entertained it, and they brought the doll out of the box, and then the husband says, Jamie says, all right, I got to go to the store, get some food, get some dinner for us. He comes back.
Wait. You know one thing that they nailed perfectly that I noticed? I'm telling you. So, at this party, he goes to get takeout, and he's running back to his car because it's pouring down rain outside, okay? I don't care who you are. Every single person does the same thing that he did. When you run in the rain and you sit in your car and you just go, yeah. Everybody does that.
You're just like, fuck.
Everybody does that. I've done it every single time. Felt that moment really hard right there.
They say to walk in the rain because you get less wet.
No.
It's science.
No, whatever. You're still going to get wet either way. There's no way.
yeah.
But anyway, sorry, continue. I just
you're
wanted to point
fine.
that out there.
So he comes back. He finds his wife. She is dead. Doesn't have a tongue. That fucking doll did it. The doll is real. Well, the little town they come from, it's kind of haunted. There was an old woman named Mary Shaw who has like a town riddle, and back in like the 40s and 30s, she had a ventriloquist show, and then she was killing kids and turning them into dolls. Creepy shit that wasn't right. All right, so everybody, as soon as the ventriloquist doll showed up, they were a little like fucked up, like, that's a bad omen. Well, he finds his wife obviously dead, calls the police. The police kind of think, and the main detective is Donnie Wahlberg, which is kind of funny, but he assumes that Jamie killed his wife because this, doll story doesn't hold up. So the whole time, dude's tailing him because he thinks that he killed his wife. And then towards the end, he starts to understand there's some creepy shit going on with this legend.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty cool tale, too, you know. The stare of Mary Shaw, she had no children, only dolls.
Yes, it's very creative. Mm-hmm. This isn't a typical thing, but it does follow the typical formula that you're used to. And I think that's why this movie does so well, especially in the horror community, because, it follows the exact major recipe of a horror movie. Okay, you start off in the beginning of the movie with the first kill, sets the tone, lets you know, hey, it's a horror movie now, this is what's going down.
Shit's real.
Okay, and then, of course, he goes back to some place of his past to figure out some kind of curse, and then there's a mystery, and then you finally figure out the mystery, then you have a final showdown.
We need answers.
We need answers, and you get them.
We need answers.
And I tell you what, it's always a 50-50 toss-up when the main enemy character is a spirit. It's 50-50 toss-up if they're going to survive or not.
Yeah, what are you gonna do, dog?
What are you going to do? They're already dead. How do you kill something that's already dead?
Yeah. Yeah, you just can't do something like that, dog.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot.
So, initially, when he goes back to his old town, he goes back to see his dad, who he's been, like, estranged from. He's not really close from him. His dad's a dick. But when he goes back, he's got, like, this new wife. And then he realizes that his dad's been in a wheelchair. He's had, like, a stroke. All right?
Yeah.
He ain't.
Yeah. First of all, they made the stepmom, Ella, her name in the movie is, that's Amber Valletta.
She's hot.
She's hot.
Yeah.
And you tell this day and age ruined it because you like think it's like the beginning of a porno or something. Like, I guess I'm your new stepmom.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard to hear that. You're
I
just
know. Like, oh, she's like, we should make him a room. It's like, yeah, dog, you maybe should stay there.
Yeah, the old bull. Now she wants the young
But no, that's what the porn community has ruined many people's lives now because this generation of people watching porn, they're all banging each other's families and shit. I don't know what's going on.
People's banging families.
It's the forbidden fruit. I don't know, but that's that was just fucking cracking me up. I was like, is this fucking Pornhub? What the fuck is this?
Yep, I would have did it too. I would have went for it. Well, turns out though that his dad. The whole fucking thing is, his dad's actually dead. He was turned into a dummy. And
Whoa.
that bitch is in on some shit with Mary Shaw.
Whoa.
And she set everything up to get his wife killed. And it takes the whole movie for you to figure that shit out.
Until like the last 1 minute. Does the flash reveal of the super twist that you didn't see coming.
Did you recognize the score in this, Mark?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
Yes, I did. This, thank you for that.
Sorry.
Well, I recognize it somehow. I don't know if that's the correct answer.
Yeah, tell the folks.
But this score was a beat that I found way back when I was in high school. So this is probably around 2007, 2008 when it came out. And you probably heard it in the intro, I'm assuming, if I still have it, which I think I do. But yes, we made a song. I think that was the third song we ever made together.
That's awesome.
Called Armageddon.
It was impressive for at that time.
It really was, actually. I kind of, I listened to it just because it's us. I probably enjoy it a lot more than the average person.
Yeah, for sure.
But I still know almost every word to your verse in that. And I typically do when all of our music. So
You know where we're going to put the full version up? Up on Patreon.
That's
so
right.
If you folks do want to hear that, and look, that's not just a plug for that. That's not the only reason. We do want to mention, though, if you notice, there's no commercials for this show, and the only reason we can make that possible is because of our Patreon, where we put bonus content out. And for you dedicated listeners who can spare the extra change, which is cheaper than a cup of coffee every month to support us, you get a bonus episode every week where we're not just talking scary movies, we're talking a little bit of everything. So if you're looking for that, that's patreon.com/sloppyhorror. And maybe we will post that full episode up on there if we can make that happen. I think that'd be a lot of fun. People might enjoy that.
I think so too.
So, Mark, can I say, you know the old man Henry in this movie?
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to marry. What was his wife's name? I'm trying to remember his old crazy wife.
Marion.
Yeah, I think there's an understanding that husbands have. Don't you just feel like that's how your life's gonna be? Like your wife's just gonna be crazy one day, and you're just gonna be, and you're just gonna I just assume that's gonna happen.
Well, it's already that way, but yes.
Yeah. Well, exactly. We're halfway there.
Yeah.
Whoa,
But yes, that's love though, because that man is dealing with a woman who has clearly lost her mind.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of us are in love.
Or she might have been in Mary Shaw's presence? I don't know, but
It's me, Mary Shaw.
who has a crawl space that big too? Let's talk about that shit.
Yeah,
Yo,
that would be scary. That would need to be like exterminated nightly.
it would be. But, you know, you could tell the dude's used to it. I mean, what's that man scared of anymore? I mean, he's a coroner.
Yeah.
Funeral home. Like, you deal with dead bodies
Yeah.
by yourself, and it's always at night, you know, so there's not really much to be scared of after being in a room with dead bodies all the time. You kind of get numb to almost everything else, so you can run in a crawl
dude.
space like that, probably.
Yeah, for sure, man. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. That's just fucking freaky. I don't, like, just thinking about that kind of baffled me for a second. Like, I don't want a crawl space that big.
No, I don't want to.
I would, like, throw fire in there every once in a while, just
throw.
yeah. Like, burn all the spiders and whatever's in there.
No, yeah, there's some creatures in there that I ain't fucking, you know, I mean, I ain't trying to fuck with those creatures that are whatever living in there.
You know what's a fun concept, too, with this old lady, Mary Shaw? If you see her ghost, if you scream, she cuts out your tongue. But if you don't scream, you don't. And, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think we would scream. Like, you might be like, what the fuck? Like, you might be like, oh, nah.
Yeah.
But I can't see you.
I really don't know what the last time I screamed was.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time you screamed?
No.
I don't remember the last time I screamed.
Yeah, like a genuine scream.
Like a for real scream, not like for comedy purposes or fucking around or nothing like that. Like an actual, like, legitimate scream.
I'm terrified scream.
Yeah, I don't know. Do not know. But yeah, I don't think we would scream. We'd be like, what the fuck?
Get out of here, you old weird bitch. We're keeping the dummy. He's ours now.
Yeah. Of course, they had to do it again to me. They had to put a beautiful car, give the main character a beautiful car. That 1971 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme, dude. Woo!
It was a nice car.
That's a beautiful car. Those cars are like $10,000
And they destroyed
right
it.
now. I know they fucking destroyed it. They always fucking destroy it. Why? Why are you doing this?
Because they assholes.
I know.
They assholes. They like to do that in movies. And this lady, when she was alive, if you haven't seen the movie, all right, which I would hope you would, all right, but she had like 101 dolls or some shit.
That's a lot of dolls.
It's a lot of
Some
dolls.
people got Dalmatians, some people got dolls.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
What are you going to do? At the end of the movie, Jamie had to go in and burn up all these dolls with Donnie Wahlberg. Because the cop ended up being on his side at the end because he realized the shit ain't right.
Realized he was finally telling the truth.
Shit ain't right.
I love how they gave him just the most pointless, unique attribute, the detective.
With the razor?
He's always shaving.
Yep, and then at the end, like when his body's falling, like the razor falls. They do that sometimes in horror where like you kind of like die with the thing that you are all about.
Yeah. Like, can you just imagine just like being around somebody that just did that all the time? Like, you should just start doing that. Like, go up to Rachel and just start shaving, like, and talking to her.
With the razor?
Yeah.
I could. I could.
It's so pointless, but I love it.
I could. I should try it.
Yeah. Of course, they got a cool little theater where she lives, apparently now. That theater on a lake, which only a horror movie would have a theater on a lake.
I know. I kind of like because the old man kind of told the stories of the heyday of the town when that bitch was given, and I call her a bitch because she is a bitch because she's scary, okay? She's a scary old lady. And back when she had her puppet show, it was like in the 30s, and he was telling a story of back when she was doing a show, and like one little boy called her out, like, I can see your lips moving. And then that little boy went missing. Little boy died. And I just really like that kind of recreation scene. It looked good, looked like old time, looked like a cool old little town. I'd want to live there. I'd want to hang out there. What do you say, Ozark Mark? We walk around the old town. Hey, there's somebody with dummies in there. What do you know?
That's a lot of dolls. That means she had to have 101 voices or something. That's a lot of voices.
Wow, that's a lot of voices.
Yeah.
Mark, let me ask you something.
Okay.
What's your favorite part of this movie? Hold on. Not your first time seeing this, correct?
No, it was.
It was, okay.
Yeah. I've known about it. I just never watched it. Let's see. Are some good parts in here. I don't know. You got one? You go first. I'll keep thinking.
There's a part where Jamie's in a hotel room and he has Billy with him, the little doll.
Yeah.
And there's like this ominous red light, which is always in like motel scenes and hotel scenes in movies. I don't know. It's got that like orange and red light going on. Mm-hmm. But then it's just kind of trippy because when Billy animates himself and like Mary Shaw kind of animates herself, like time gets slow and sounds get slow and the clock ticks slow. It just kind of has a cool effect. And I like that. That was probably one of the most like intense scenes. I also really liked when it showed young Henry, because Henry is the town mortician and he runs the funeral parlor. And it showed him because his father did the same thing. Small town, obviously. Boy grew up doing what his dad does. But it showed him as a young boy when Mary Shaw was dead and at the casket and it fell over.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was thinking my favorite part was going to be.
Like when that lightning was going off, that was great work because it like you saw her face glimpse and then she was gone the next time the lightning flashed, and then when it flashed again she was standing up.
Yeah, and this is the first time you see her as she is a doll because she requested to be turned into a doll when she died. So that just made her even more creepy, and her like floating, like that's the nightmare fuel for that scene has fucked somebody up because I mean, you go around.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite things when someone, mentions that we do a horror movie podcast is instantly they'll tell you about the movie that fucked them up. A horror movie has fucked up every single person in this world. Somebody, some movie. And it's always different, too.
The people that saw this when they were 5 are like 20 now.
Yeah.
They old.
So there's one of them.
Oh, they're out there.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, that's James Wan and then Lee Winnell. I mean, these people also members of that Splat Pack there. Early 2000s people coming up. Obviously, these guys did Saw, did The Conjuring, movies like that, things like that. So they know the recipe for horror. And it's cheap, man. It's a Tostino's Party Pizza kind of horror movie. It's not the best horror movie in the world, but it sometimes you just want something to do what you ask it to do. Just do what I want from you. I don't necessarily need you to be the most complex story, which it's not a dumb story. It's thick enough to keep you through. But I love those one and done horror movies. Like there's not the Dead Silence franchise and it was just a horror movie. You could just go see, boom.
Yep,
that was it, and it was done. Like you could take your girl, you can get a girl or boy, whatever you got going on. You can go see a movie, bam. Oh, they're scared. Guess who's in your arms? Bam. That's a secret. That's a great plan, dog. That's a great plan. I spent $20 and I got a girl or a guy in my arms, and I'm eating candy. I got an icy. We're having a fun time. This is what it's all about. This is what I came for.
Yep. That is one of the best parts of horror movies is sitting there with your significant other and one of them being scared.
It's like when they ask you to open the pickle jar. It makes you feel brave and bold.
I tell you, that's another just element of fun that adds to horror movies is watching it with somebody else that gets scared easily.
Yes.
Has Rachel ever seen this movie?
I watched this with her at your house, actually, when I first started dating her. Since we're going to... You don't name drop, Mark. You don't name drop people. You've name dropped. Okay, her name's Schmrachel. But anyways, I watched it with her at your house. Okay, and this was early on. And for some reason, I assume everyone's watched horror movies a lot. And even this was on earlier. She didn't remember it. She came in like, what are you watching? Oh, and it was like obviously like it's like those memes, you know, like when I'm watching the movie by myself and it's a calm scene, and when somebody walks in, it's either like naked people or something crazy. She comes in like when this when the short-haired wife is being dragged and blood is coming out of her mouth. She's like, oh.
I'm surprised.
How do you watch this shit?
You didn't hit her with the, you don't remember this? This was like our first date movie. Should have done that. Should have done that.
Well, technically, that was Halloween. Once again, that's just funny. It was the Rob Zombie's 2007. I'll just never forget her being like, "What?" Because I didn't start it with her. I was already watching it, and she came over, and it was like that part where Michael Myers is beating the shit out of the other one with the tree branch. She's like, "What is going on? What are these kids doing?" I was like, "Well, it's Michael Myers." She's like, "Why is he killing?" Oh, well, because he's Michael Myers. Like that's
just what he does.
That's the explanation.
That's
yeah.
kind of his favorite hobby.
That's,
you know?
Yeah. He's got issues for sure. Yeah, but that's him, and that's what strikes me is I get numb to the fear category in horror movies, and having people in your life that are afraid of horror movies helps balance that out, or at least it does to me. Because honestly, there's not. You want to know what scares me? Marley and Me. That's a 4 out of 3, dog. That's the scary. Okay, I don't like that. John Q. Or the dad's about to like, you know, the little boy's heart went out. I don't like that kind of shit. I'm not built for that. But horror movies, there's nothing that really gets me scared. I enjoy it. So
no, man, you get older and the movies don't scare anymore. It's the real life situations that can scare you. For instance, like having about to shit your pants and go into a public restroom and there's not a stall open. That's scary.
That is scary.
That's scary. Okay. Things like that. Yeah, but it's good, though, because, you know, once you get past the fear category, you get numb to it, and they don't really scare you anymore. Then you can appreciate all the other things that make it up.
100%. And now it's more or less if my heart is engaged. Am I engaged into the movie? Because there's so many films or movies these days, especially when everybody's brain is programmed to 5-second ads and swipe your finger, swipe your finger, swipe your finger. So our brains are just so adapted to like new content every couple seconds. When you can put on a movie and it keeps you locked in, that's what horror is all about to me. It keeps me locked in. And there's those ones where it's just like, damn. Not saying other movies can't do that. Not saying they can't. Horror is just the one where you're like, what would you do, man? It just always is that like proverbial, like, what would you do, man? What are you going to do? I don't care what it is. It's a shark movie. It's a serial killer movie. It's an alien movie. What are you going to do? How are you going to... Are these people dumb or there's nothing you can do?
Yeah, they're in a tight spot now. How are they going to get out of this one?
Wow. They're in a tight spot.
They did do a good job of taking out their tongues and making their face all look all fucked up once they get their tongue taken from Miss Shaw, which I liked.
Yeah, makeup work was done very well. I even liked the clown dummy. Did you like the clown dummy?
Yeah. I mean, I always loved the clowns. You know, there wasn't anything special about them. I mean, clowns are clowns, but you got to give the clown some kind of, you know, character to them, you know, because a creepy clown is just a creepy clown. I still like the creepy clowns, but, you know, I'm not going to remember this clown forever. You know what I mean?
I feel like if I put that little dummy in your studio, though, you'd come home like, what the fuck?
No, it would still get burnt. I don't care if it's a clown or not. It would still get burned because I'm telling you, like, some people fucking hate dolls, too. Like, old creepy dolls are just fucking scary. Like, you know, they're just unsettling. And, like, I'm not afraid of the doll, but
it ain't right.
Fuck that shit. Because, you know, I mean, there's, like, possessed dolls and shit, you know, and, you know, which is only, like, one in existence, but it can happen again.
Yeah, one reported that we know of. There could be one right now ripping kids apart.
I ain't fucking with no damn cursed dolls, okay? I ain't fucking with no spirit attached to no damn doll. They don't look... We need to get away with dolls, okay? Enough with dolls. Barbies are cool. They're fine. Any other doll, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
You have to cage them in there. Make sure you can get burned.
back when I my childhood home, there was a kid across the street, and his mom had an old fucking 50s doll, and it had like one eye missing, and she put it in her living room. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Nope.
No.
Something. She works with the devil.
I guess so.
She's a witch.
What the hell's wrong with you?
She's a witch. Not like the cool witches. Not like the ones that are like cool with the earth, but like the.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say you were back in your single days, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fiance didn't exist at this point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you meet a hottie, everything's going well. She takes you back to her place. Okay, she's got like 40 dolls in or around the house. Wow. 10 in her room. Would you still go through with the modification of her body?
Yes. I think I would go through with the gamble, but it might be one of those ones where you're getting, topped off with your eyes open. She's going to work, but you're back here alert.
once one of them moves,
yeah,
I'll just keep my eyes closed the whole time.
You always need to be, if you're back there giving back shots, you're like looking them down. You remember Christian Bale in American Psycho in the mirror? You're going to be doing that with the dolls. Letting them know.
Let's find out more stuff about this movie.
All right.
Boom! Welcome to the What Do You Know here. This is a segment here where we're here to tell you something that you may or may not know about this movie. Now, welcome to you. If this is your first time here, let me tell you how it's gonna go. We're gonna tell you things we know about this movie. Now, you may know what we know, and you don't know what we know. So, it doesn't matter where you are, it's an Oreo cookie. You're gonna have a we know-gasm either way you digest it, if that makes sense to you. Now, why don't you tell me something that you may or may not know about this movie, Dead Silence?
Certainly. Look here. The producer, Lee Winnell, he was so unhappy with the unfinished product of this movie because of studio interference. He no longer, at this point, this was the last movie where he gave a studio the idea of a movie and then they made it. He only got paid to write as he went, like on spec. He wasn't gonna play around anymore. He started holding his cards tight. Okay, he got really pissed off with the ending product of this movie. And really, it's not that bad. He shouldn't be so tough on himself. It's a good product, okay? It delivers what he wants. But I understand that. You got something you want to make, and people mess with that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
But that's a nice little fact. Lee Winnell, the producer, was not happy with this movie.
Hey, I know where he's coming from, being, in that same category myself here. So I know what it's like. I know what it's like when you have something in your head and you try to make it come to life and it doesn't come out to what it's gonna be. It's very frustrating.
Makes me angry.
Yeah. It's my turn now.
Yeah, tell me what you know.
Okay. Check this out. So, there's a scene in the storage area of the theater that they're at. Okay? When they go to the theater. On the water.
With all them dolls.
Theater on the water. Yeah. So, they open it up and they see all the dolls back there. She dug them all up. She brought them back home. So now she's got all the dolls.
Pretty sick display.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, you see that. Would you be like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's a lot of dolls. I don't know what to do. But one of those dolls is very recognizable. Did you see which doll I'm talking about?
Who was it?
The Jigsaw.
The Jigsaw, like
from the movie Saw. Jigsaw from Saw was in those dolls. Because James Wan, he fucking directed it. He made the movie, so, why not put a little homage in there? So, next time you're watching the movie, look out for Jigsaw, because his ass is in there.
That's nice.
He's in the lineup. He's in the roster. He's back home.
He's one of the 101.
He's 1-0.
Yeah.
Ooh. Bet you didn't know that shit, did you? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I think we're all a little bit smarter now. And that's a good, successful day.
Yeah.
You learn something new.
Yeah, you know what else I know?
You know more things here.
Yeah, I know one more thing.
Okay, here we go.
The stepmom is very bangable. You guys needed to know that. Now you know. The stepmom in this movie definitely, gets the chubby check.
Yep.
She gets the...
Yeah, you feel like you're home alone when you watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, I don't know why she's angry, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary,
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Okay. Do you know any more facts about this movie here?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, we're gonna go now.
The After Dark Shark. I have a question.
That's not gonna stick. But go ahead.
It is.
No. I prefer Skid Mark.
That's mean.
Yeah, it's better than fucking After Dark Shark. It ain't fitting well with my persona.
I think that's gonna make it work more now.
Nah, probably.
You just gotta have like the old wrestlers. You gotta have quite a few.
Yeah, like my logo will just be a shark holding a candle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. What do you got for me?
All right, Jurassic Mark. I've got...
That's a good one. I like that one.
Jurassic Mark.
Oh, stop fucking around. Tell me what you're thinking. Come on. What you got? You got something for me?
How many people... I'm just saying, like, if a social experiment, do you think people would keep that doll? Because we discussed that you and I would not keep this doll, but I still feel like there would be a small percentage of people who would die because A, they would scream, and B, they would take this damn doll. I just can't see myself doing this, but don't you think that this is realistic here in the sense of, like, if people were to get a weird package, people who aren't used to scary movies, they'd be like, oh, what is this? Maybe we should call a medium. Wow, this is neat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to have some... And people without basic horror movie education are not going to...
You know that there's... In my backyard, there's like that altar thing back there. Apparently there was a wedding here at some point. I don't know when.
Yes.
I don't know when.
Right.
She was like, we should take that down. I said, I'm not getting the Curse of La Llorona to pop out, bro.
No.
I don't know what...
That bitch could be a widow, and that's like the only thing that's like keeping her spirit at bay or something. You ain't messing with that.
You just don't play games.
No.
You just don't play games.
No.
Yep.
If you find something creepy, don't take it, don't move it. If nothing has happened, you leave it there, because that's where it's supposed to be.
What happened in Evil Dead? You picked up the creepy book and creepy tape? Look what you done did?
Yeah, stop. Yeah.
Just stop messing with
You know
stuff.
how this whole thing could have been avoided? You threw the doll out the window.
Yeah, stop messing with stuff. Stop playing games.
Freaking white people, man.
I know, that's white people shit, man.
It is.
Look what they've did. I can't I can't handle that.
No.
You know what is really surprising though? This is also maybe not as unknown as like last week's movie Summer of '84, but this is kind of like right there in the middle. Some people know this flick, some people do not, and there's not a lot of big actors. Like the guy who played his dad, that was the warden from Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
That was him. Obviously, everybody kind of recognizes that guy. The stepmom, she's something and from something. I don't remember what.
Let's see.
And then Donnie Wahlberg, obviously, is the cop. So there's some like decent actors in this. I'm not saying this was like Oscar worthy by any means, but it didn't feel like a cheap movie. It didn't feel like a cheap movie. And it's strange because, like, it didn't do very well at the box office, but I imagine DVD sales really did well for this movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's there. I mean, you see a creepy. I mean, the cover is a creepy puppet.
Yeah.
So that'll get you. Some people are just like looking for a little quick scare. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's made for.
Dolls always work, man. That's a trope that will always work.
Yes.
And I like that it's not a sequel to anything else. It's like it's just its own doll. That's all you need to do. It doesn't have to be anything. Just make your own shit. Make your own character. I love when movies do that, when they make their own characters.
Yes.
And because I fall in love with, even if it's a one-time movie, I don't care if it's even if it's an Art the Clown, Billy the Puppet, whatever you got going on, I like this. The Toxic Avenger, give me more characters. Too many sequels. Too many people I've already seen.
Well said. Well said.
Bullshit, man.
I want to know what this movie scores on the world famous Sloppy Horror Podcast rating.
Sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
Yeah, that was real nice here.
That was nice.
Welcome to the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, everybody. This is a world famous horror rating system performed by the one and only horror nerd himself, Mr. Christian Ramey. He's come up with this in his little laboratory, and it works. Okay, now, but also keep in mind that this is a rating system for a horror movie, not a movie in general. Okay, this is what makes a horror movie, the elements of a horror movie that make it up. Okay, if that makes sense to you, it makes sense to me, it makes sense to everybody. Here we are. And we're going to do this in a series of 4 categories. 3 of the categories are worth 3 points. Last category is worth 1.48 total love.
10 points altogether.
That is 100% correct, and you get that correct every time, and I am amazed. It's like that machine change. You know what I mean? You win every time. You put $1 in, you get 4 quarters.
I didn't have any more fingers. If there would have been one more to the list, I would have been fucked.
Yeah.
But we got 10.
But luckily that doesn't happen here yet. So, let's get into the first category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is casting.
I feel like this is right. It just right there in the middle. This is butter toast, baby. It's not very cheap. It's not horrible acting. It's not slasher movie acting, but it's not The Shining. So I would put it at right at a 1.5. I feel like it does just enough to be a movie that could be in the theaters. It's not a bullshit movie. It's not like slasher. It's not total shit. There are some recognizable actors. There was a New Kid on the Block, a Wahlberg. Okay, we'll take that. I feel like that's a 1.5.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the cast does the job. There's nobody that's superstar. Like you said, there's some people that are recognizable. That'll get you up there. But nothing spectacular. It wasn't amazing acting, but it wasn't horrible acting either.
Run of the mill.
Run of the mill. I mean, right down to Fred, you're average. You're average as hell. Like most of you people, you're average. Okay? Like me, myself, and you. We're all average here.
Yes.
I mean, I'm above average in some things, but, let's not talk about that here. All right, so that's 1.5 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the second category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. And that is kills.
So not a lot of kills on screen. Not a lot of delivery on that. But there are some kills. They're like supernatural kind of kills. You find the result almost like very reminiscent of The Ring when you find them all.
Stop
like
doing
that. Like that.
Yeah.
Where they're all distorted. Yeah. Exactly what it's like.
It does. How many total kills do we have here? We got his wife. We have his dad. Is dead. I mean, you don't see the kill, but it's dead. He's there.
My dad is dead.
You got Henry, the funeral home guy. You got.
Did his wife get it, or she stay alive?
I think his wife stayed alive.
Okay.
Yeah, his wife stayed alive.
Donnie Wahlberg dies.
Yep, Jamie dies as well.
Yeah, that's 5.
That's 5 kills. None of them are on screen, but decent amount there. You got kills in it at least, or implemented kills. That's something.
I'm thinking just a 1. I don't want to say it's just a half a point because it's like the supernatural element can bring you to a 1 because it's not just a knife.
Well, that's what the whole movie's based on, too, is her killing you. So we have kills in there. And the boy died. The boy's a death. But you never get him. So, I mean, that opens it up, though, to a younger generation where you don't have gore on screen. So, but it is a 1. So
and it opens up with, like, his wife's death. She got murked.
Yeah.
She got, like, she was leaking. And
Yeah.
that was kind of a cool, and she gets dragged. So, I mean, it's kind of, like, not a scene for a 3rd grader.
Set the tone, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
Okay, so that is 2.5 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the 3rd category here in the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is fear.
Fear. Look. This is kind of a tough one because I'm numb to everything once again. I'm numb. I don't know if this is going to be a 1 or a 1.5. I need your help with this because I feel like if you're with somebody that gets scared from horror movies, this is filled with pop scares. It's definitely suspenseful. Has some great moments.
Yeah, well, I mean, the character's scary, you know, but it's a very non-real life kind of scary concept, just because the supernatural element of it. But there's the doll aspect in it, where that comes up there. But I legit think a lot of people would be scared of this movie. A lot of the people that watch HDTV as their show of choice, those kinds of people that scare easily. It's just hard. I would say 1.5, just because if you got the pop scares, you got the dolls, and you have Miss Shaw, who's actually pretty fucking creepy.
She is pretty creepy, man. I agree.
Yeah, so, all right, 1.5, we'll go with that. So that is 4 out of 10 so far here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating. Let's get into the last category here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating, and that is rewatchability.
I've watched this movie quite a few times. I'm trying to think outside of the box here. I think this season will do well for rewatchability because it's the road to Halloween, so it's movies to kind of get you in the mood. So I would definitely say yes. Ozark, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I do think it is. Again, it's not it's fun to watch. It's got a little bit. It's creative. It's pop scares, so you will rewatch it, showing it to other people, and Halloween time, yeah, it's rewatchable around Halloween. That's probably really the only time for me to pick it on, is if you're with people and you got to pick a random movie. If this pops up, I would rewatch it.
Yeah, it's pretty digestible. It's very easy.
It is, and it's easy going. So that is a total of 5 out of 10 for Dead Silence, 2007. Here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast rating stamp of approval.
On the road to Halloween!
Which it makes sense because, we've been talking about how this movie is just, straight down the road, average. It gets what it does. It's got an average score. So, pretty good.
I miss movies like this, man. I miss movies that didn't take themselves too seriously and they were easily digestible. It's not like you had to be like, hey, are you ready to watch something where you're going to be invested for the next 10 years? You're like, no, preferably not. I would just like to watch something, if that's cool. Hey, you ready for the next series that's going to take 8 years? Please, okay, if it's good. Maybe some Peaky Blinders, whatever. But you're just like, fuck, if you guys could just give me everything at once, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait years and months and all kinds. Sometimes it's worth the wait. Not going to say that it's not. But I just miss those movies that were just, when they knew they were B pictures. They didn't come out trying to beat the Avengers at the box office. It was just different. And but it was a different time for movies where movies could really make a lot more money in DVD sales. Like if your movie fucking flopped, you could make a shitload of money if you had a cool DVD. Case in point for this movie, I imagine. And obviously people aren't really buying DVDs or physical media like that anymore. So it's a different day and age. Not saying you can't be successful, but it just has to be in a different world. You have to be on a platform or get noticed in a different kind of way. But I'm just thankful that we were alive at that time frame, man. Getting a horror movie DVD or VHS before that, but just having that and just Just a B picture, man. Nothing too serious. Some were shit, some were not, but it didn't bother you as bad. Now it's like things hang on forever. It's just like they're either 3-hour movies or it's like, are you ready for part 4 and 5? You're just like, nah, dude, go away. I don't want any more of this.
Make it stop.
I'm done with this.
Make it
Yes.
stop.
Give me new. Give me the new stuff. Give me the new characters. And
Give me something new, baby.
Yeah.
Give me something new, original, one and done. That's it.
fun little concept.
That's it. We don't need to leave me hanging and wondering if there's going to be... No, just fucking make something.
Next
Make it
week's
cool.
movie's going to be the same way. It's about all I'm going to give you.
Ooh.
But it also has 2 words in it.
Ooh.
Also has Mudvayne in it. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Oh. Now,
know-
if you want the answer to that riddle, make sure you go to the one place that we tell you to go.
That would be patreon.com/sloppyhorror, where you can find all bonus content and support your friends. Mr. No Shart Mark. Mr. Chrissy Pay Me. You can go there. You can give him
I'm
$1
Marky
million.
Bananas.
Marky Bananas and Chrissy Pay Me. Look, we're not fucking playing games, okay?
Yeah.
We got bonus content on the fucking Patreon. You think we're a couple fucking jerk-offs here? Like we're making extra content for nothing, like we make it for nobody. Look here, we appreciate each and all of you on this road to Halloween. If I die living in this life that I live, okay, God rest my soul. God rest my soul. Have mercy on my kids. But at least we got to walk the road to Halloween, talk some spooky stuff. Will I live to see tomorrow? I don't know. I don't know. Marky Bananas over here, he's got my back. I got his back. We're going to continue. We're going to keep going down this road together. And what's really fun about all of this, people ask me all the time, what are some good horror movie recommendations? Just look at our show. Just look at the list of movies we covered. That's my recommendations.
There's like, we've done 66 episodes so far. That's 66 movies you could choose from.
Wow,
That's a lot of movies.
It is, though. It really is. But that's... It's kind of an honor, really, because things have really been rolling lately. A lot of more people are engaging in comments. There's a lot more ratings. I love that a lot of you guys helped us with that because it's more than just listening, you know. If we're on a platform, you know how they are. You guys go into that little rating. It's like, click on how many stars, give us what you want. We appreciate that shit. And honestly, things have really been moving lately, and I'm just very appreciative and kind of really humbled. More like we look up where everybody's listening, and you're like, where in the I don't know how you found out about us, but
Yeah,
thank
I don't
you.
know. I can't pronounce half of those places.
But we thank you. We do. And if you, whatever you're doing with your week, man, this is just a nice little, I don't know how long, I mean, depending on how long each movie is, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, we'll just say 2 hours if we're being cute. And then our episode's an hour long, so 3 hours out of your week. We give you a little something to do, a little Easter egg hunt, if you will. You can look for these things. Maybe you could throw on Dead Silence, try to find Jigsaw. You're like, man, I've seen that movie dozens of times. I've never seen Jigsaw. Well, there you go. You got a little something to do, man.
Yeah.
Before you clap your wifey's cheeks and make some popcorn, you could watch some fun shit with Ozark and I. That's what it's all about. And eventually, when there's enough of you sons of bitches, and we take the top 10 cities of all of our listeners, we'll start coming to your town, okay? We'll have watch parties in person. We'll pick some movies out, and we'll talk through this shit together. We'll have a blast. Ozark, he's a fun performer. Little did you know, Ozark worked in the circus for a short amount of time, all right?
Yes, it was like 3 days.
He kind of did an Aladdin thing, juggled the swords and swallowed them. Pretty crazy. He's nuts. But we're entertainers, folks, and I'm actually really surprised. Sometimes our city is our top listeners. We're the top city, but a lot of times it's not. There's a lot of you out in Philadelphia. Got a lot of Texas listeners.
Texas.
There's a lot of you in New York.
New York.
A lot of y'all in Chicago.
Chicago.
You're all out there, and we do appreciate y'all. They're all over the world. And shit, there's a lot of y'all in California, too. It's really strange.
I don't know what accent that is, so I can't do that one.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Was it Solanio? Is that how you say it?
Hey, man.
Solanio.
I just really appreciate you guys, man. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's just now getting September, Mark. Wait till football's on. Wait till leaves.
Oh, yeah.
All the leaves are
Falling.
Yep. See, when that happens, and you bust out that first hoodie,
That's always a good day. I'm telling you what, that's always a good day.
I saw somebody pressure wash a pumpkin.
What?
They took a pumpkin and they carved it with a pressure washer.
I could
and it
see
worked
that,
pretty
though.
fairly accurate.
I could see
it was
that
pretty
because,
nice.
Yeah, because you got those attachments that's like the super fucking thin one that could like pretty much cut through your body.
I feel like we could do that and have some fun. I'm just saying, it'd be a lot of fun. We've never run over a pumpkin with a lawnmower. These are things we could do this October. Have a lot of fun. Have you ever hit the mailman with a pumpkin? I think it'd be hilarious.
Don't do that. He'll knock his ass out. The mailman, don't leave the mailman alone, man. I'm
What
telling
if
you,
it's
he's got to
full
work
of
7 days.
candy?
Okay. Run over a pumpkin with a lawnmower.
That would be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun. Or I can lob you a small one, you know. You can hit it with a baseball bat. There's just all kinds of pumpkin fun we could have. Pumpkin pie I'm really excited for because that one hangs on through Thanksgiving.
What we need to do is get your suggestions of what we could do with pumpkins, and we will take the top suggestions and make a short little video.
Except for fucking them.
I'm not fucking a pumpkin.
No, we're not fucking them.
Hey. We go to the store and we see a person. He's like, hey, if he says, hey, you only planning on fucking these pumpkins, are you?
No, dude. Why did you say that?
I mean, I ain't been into pumpkin fucking, but.
If you happen to put one of them pumpkins on there and spin it.
Especially when you get one of them red pumpkins.
All right.
My.
All right, ladies, we're coming to your city to carve your pumpkin and spill your seeds. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Sloppy Slut Podcast.
That really fucking sounds disgusting. Spill your seeds from a woman, though. Like, I could get, like, it makes sense from a dude because semen, so you like your seed. But, like, a woman has seeds? What does a woman have seeds for? I don't feel like they should have seeds.
We're ready to fertilize your eggs.
That's a little bit better. Except I don't want to do that.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week to fertilize your eggs again here on the Sloppy Horror Podcast.
All right.